So we've just had a market explosion. Yes, some real news coming out on Sol. Is there going to be an ETF? Is it a rumor? Is it actually going to be happening? So we're going to talk about it because the Sol chart has absolutely exploded and we've seen AVAX rip with it. In fact, the market as a whole has started pumping. But now, does that mean the ETH trade is over? So we got so much to talk about here today. And we're looking at some of the setups that I gave you yesterday. And I've got a whole ton of other coins for you guys. So we got so much to talk about here. Let's get right into this. And if you are enjoying the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. Remember, I was on Banter main channel yesterday, if you're wondering where I was. And I'll be on the main channel again tomorrow. But remember, Banter Plus is my normal home this time of the day. This is where you are going to find me. So what is going on? Banter Bubbles, nice and green, looking good. Ray's favorite, Celestia there on the right, negative 3.8. This thing just can't catch a break. This thing is going to $5.
Bear down, bear down.
We're going to be longing Celestia at 5. I can guarantee you that much. And we'll deal with it when we need to. But the show today, it's all about Solana. It's all about CAS. It's all about AVAX. And there was a CAS trade yesterday. Hopefully some of you guys got that one off the show as well. But just all around, nice to see a little explosion here. Nice and green on Banter Bubbles. And like I was saying yesterday, we can't be too bearish. You know, as long as BTC is holding certain levels and dominance is pulling over or falling over, we can't get too bearish on things. So nice little retest yesterday. And looks like we nailed a couple of entries. So here's the current BTC situation. And it was almost perfection. I don't want to claim absolute perfection because we did dip a little bit under the 382. And you can see there was a little stop hunt there yesterday, earlier today, just before they sent that up. But this was one of my big levels yesterday for BTC. And something as simple as a 382 fib used for a bullish pullback can be very handy for you guys. So let's call it 60,900. That is a hot zone now. You can see we've got a nice little rejection, but we're watching 60,900. That could be our next potential scalper move here on BTC. And no surprises here, a little rejection at our resistance zone. So I gave you guys this one yesterday, 62,475, and we've pinged straight into that area. And, you know, no real surprises that we are rejecting there. It is now a big resistance zone. And look, at some point, if the bulls stick around, at some point, this is going to get absolutely smashed. And when we do eventually pop this level, we are going to turn extreme bulls. We're going to turn proper bullish here on BTC. But until that happens, we need to be a little bit cautious. And I have taken profits on a couple of trades so far today, but I still have quite a few open here that I'm going to share with you. And some of these setups that we gave yesterday, I took some of them, and I believe Ray, even though we begged and pleaded, we told Ray he's got to trade his first meme coin. He didn't take it. He didn't take the trade. He didn't take it. And Brett was there staring him in the face. Okay, so if we get a little bit more downside today, we've got to watch our big zone. This is my big bull zone, the 59,800 region. And there were multiple reasons for this one yesterday. It's a 618 pool. And it's also the major 786. So it's a massive zone for me, 59,850. That's a hot zone that I'm watching carefully. If you are currently long BTC or any alts, what you can do, little strategy, is you can have your exit plan under the lows from earlier today. So you can see these lows. You're going to find them on a lot of your altcoins. And if you are sitting in longs, that is going to be your support market you want to be watching. If we start losing those areas and candle closes under these zones, then potentially things are going to be going a little bit lower. So if you are long BTC, for example, 60,560, give or take, is going to be a nice little exit zone for you if we start closing under that region. Okay, a little bit of going on in the news other than the Sol situation. And, you know, I mean, an amazing turn of events. Coinbase officially sues the SEC. How's that for a little revenge play here? And, you know, they're having a go at the SEC after that last case. And I was loving Crypto Rand's picture here of Gary Gensler getting ready for his defense. We got to love that. And he's putting on his clown boots there to go and defend the SEC. And then we had some economic data come out of the States, relatively bullish. The question is, what will Jerome Powell do now? And, you know, the first thing you want to do is just see how the S&P is responding. And the initial move for the S&P was to the upside. But we can see this current daily candle is turning a little bit green at the moment. I mean, a little bit red at the moment. So we're going to watch this one, you know, play out over the next, say, 24 hours. We're going to see how the market reacts to that. But S&P relatively flat considering the type of news that we got floating around here. We got some bullishness, some FUD, that type of thing. And S&P has been a relatively boring trade over the last couple of weeks. Right. FANEC has just filed their application for the Sol Spot ETF. So if you were wondering why your Sol and your WIF and your BONK and all these tokens have suddenly exploded, well, this is the news floating around. And, you can follow me here on Twitter at the Lord of Entry. But we saw Sol just popped up 7% there as that news started spreading around, and a lovely little result. And hopefully some of you guys got some of those trades that we gave you yesterday. So I'm going to take a look at the poll running now. There is a poll running in the chats for you guys. So please let me know if you did get some of those entries that we looked at yesterday. Now, 𝗦𝗘𝗧𝗧𝗧 making an interesting statement here, but I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. He's predicting BlackRock and Fidelity are going to be following the VanEck Sol ETF. So we know, I mean, if one of them starts filing, obviously the other guys are going to come through. So bullish things for Sol. Is everybody going to forget about my ETH bro trade now? Are we done with ETH? So we're going to take a look at the Sol versus ETH situation as well, and get our heads around that. And I wonder which one is now going to be the best performer over the next few months. That's going to be an interesting debate that's going to be playing out there. And 𝗬𝗢𝗜𝗓, interesting quote or interesting tweet here from 𝗬𝗢𝗓, and he says fascinating behavior. He says yesterday $300 million new USDC on Sol. Okay, so the biggest inflow in 3 months, and all of a sudden Coinbase sues the SEC and VanEck files for Sol ETF. Okay, so somebody always knows something. A big insider game this, as we can see. It always seems to play out in that manner. And then a couple of bearish things here, or potentially funny things floating around the market that we can't ignore. Number one, 𝗏𝗏 says to us, the US government sent 4,000 BTC to Coinbase yesterday. Now they had seized some BTC from some criminal or whatever the story was, but basically they had all these BTC. Now they've sent it to Coinbase, and are they going to be now selling this? Is that going to put selling pressure on BTC? And 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗓 says here, US government declared Coinbase an illegal brokerage and then proceeded to use Coinbase as its brokerage. I mean, it's such a crypto move, isn't it? And then something else, we got Look on Chain talking about Genesis Trading. Now these guys deposited 1,000 BTC onto Coinbase today. Okay, so they have now a total of 8,000 BTC on Coinbase in the past 2 weeks. Look, generally, if you are putting things on exchanges, like Coinbase, maybe you're putting it there to sell. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of sell pressure, something like that. So it's just notable that this stuff is happening, and we'll pay attention. And the trader dad says, has Olaf stopped selling? Well, Olaf, I haven't seen any Olaf news today from the Germans, but I mean, now these guys are now starting to sell. So it never seems to end at the moment. But I wanted to show you the liquidation map, and welcome back. All the apes are back. You guys have been into hiding, but all the 100 leverage apes, welcome back to Bitcoin. Everybody is longing it one more time. And remember, when these type of things happen, it's very easy to get a little flush out. They come and grab these late longs. Remember, a lot of the time, a lot of the best trades are when we bearish and things are dropping onto these big levels. And but the problem is with a lot of traders is that when things start pumping, they come late and they start leveraging and over leveraging and things like that. And now we're in a situation where the longs on the daily here on the liquidation map are now far exceeding the shorts, and the juicy stuff is all the way down to 59K, 58,600. You can see nice little clusters here on the left-hand side of this chart at the bottom. And then upside on the daily, well, if we push this thing, we're looking at around about 65 for the maximum type of squeeze here on this chart. And then let's look at the 30-day. Always feels a little bit better watching this one. And this still tells us the max pain for a lot of people has got to be to the upside here. So I'm still eyeing out the 68K move here on BTC to come clean out some of these shorts on the 30-day. But remember, on the daily, we can get these big moves, and you don't want to be caught getting entries that aren't, they aren't perfect, especially when you're trading leverage. You got to make sure you are very greedy with your entries. So hopefully some of you guys got some of those entries yesterday. And look, here's BTC on the daily. And again, until we start breaking this daily trend, we can't get super bullish. Okay, so it is what it is. You can see BTC on the daily, clear downtrend here, and clear daily support levels here for us. Number one, 59,850. We can see that nice and clear, and I'm loving this 200 days slowly pushing higher, telling us maybe we're just raising our little support base here. Maybe we're not going to see 56K. Maybe if they come down again, we're going to ping 57,800. So that 200 days starting to push up nicely, and getting closer, giving us a little bit of support here, and maybe some kind of double bottom at some point if they are going to come and flush out any of these late longers. And then the big one, dominance. We were looking at this yesterday on the 12-hour. I gave you 2 reaction zones. I told you 2 areas we need to watch carefully here for some altcoin strength and things like that. And zone number 1 hit, and it was a very simple zone here for me. It's the 618, it's the 100-day MA, and it's horizontal support. We knew there was going to be a reaction area for dominance, and bang, we've pinged that zone. And look at dominance falling over here and unleashing some of the alts, unleashing Sol and Friends and some of these meme coins and things like that. And long may this last. So dominance really pushing out lower. The next reaction zone for me to the downside, and I would say this is going to be a big reaction. So, just be careful when you are trading. Make sure you have your eyes on this level here on dominance, 53.8. I would expect a very similar reaction here to the upside. For dominance. So watching 53.8%. If we do hit that zone, let's say we do carry on bleeding out, it's going to be lovely. We're going to be euphoric. These alts are going to be ripping over the next 24 hours. Look out for that move, and look out for that, BTC takeover there on these alts. You could get some of these altcoins sweating a little bit on that bounce. So just take care when you are watching, when you are trading. That is the level I'm watching on dominance. Where are my people here? Let's see. We haven't even hit the bullhorn. Guys, apologies. I was getting so excited. Absolute apologies. I mean, a Sol ETF filing deserves some kind of bullhorn here for you guys. And nice to see some action here. I see Beth's in the house. She's saying hit the likes. Fahad saying hit the likes. Pickle says hit the bullhorn. Well, I hope that helped you there. And 𝗬𝗪𝗔𝗔 says LFG. Right, people. Let's see the poll in the chats here. Which entries did you guys get? Because I can tell you Ray didn't get anything. Now, okay, 56% got Solana, 19% got Brett, 10% PEPE, and 15% got Phantom, which is actually a little bit iffy at the moment. It's kind of floating around. So congratulations to all of you that watched my show yesterday that got the entries, okay? For those of you that didn't watch the show, we now have a couple of trades that have pumped. Now we're going to be looking for potential secondary entries for you guys. So if this market's going to hold, we're going to have different entries that could be teeing up for you. So let's crack on here. And number 1, this was the big one I was looking at yesterday. This is ETH BTC on the monthly chart. And look at the size of this break. Okay, this candle has now turned green. We were looking at this yesterday. It was red, and we were looking for this trend break. I just love the way this candle was pushing up, looking very bullish here. And remember, once we blow this trend region here, I think the apes are going to come in hard on some of these altcoins. So ETH BTC still looking very good here, still looking very bullish. On the ETH situation. And look, nice little play for ETH, but let's not forget rejection time now. This is ETH on the 12-hour, and we held our levels. So number 1, we hold a big zone here yesterday, 3,330. That was a little support area we were watching, and now we are sitting at a resistance band. So if you are trading ETH, if it was a short-term trade for you, you are now pushing into the 3,450, 3,500 resistance zone. This could be an area where you maybe want to tighten your stop. Maybe you want to take something off the table, because we have now pushed into a resistance band. And option 2 for the bulls, if you're holding for the long term, the real play is going to be when we blow the 50-day MA and we come back and we retest that as support, the same way we have seen PEPE just do that now on the 50-day MA. We're going to see if that is still holding, but we're looking for the same setup here. So we want to blow the 50-day MA. When we retest that 50-day MA, we can add to positions, or alternatively, there's going to be a new ETH trade set up brewing for you guys. So a lot happening here, and pretty exciting, I would say. I'm pretty happy with the current situation.
Hold on. There's not a lot happening here. Hold on.
I think I know what he wants. He wants 2 things. If you like the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. And number 2, drop your comments after the show. Tell me what charts you want us to chart. Ray is collecting data for me, and we're going to have some chart setups for you, hopefully on a regular basis here for you guys. So drop those comments after the show for me.
I think we should do that one more time for the likes. We should do it one more time for the likes.
What?
They need to smash the likes.
Okay, let's get on. Lido. Okay, so I just wanted to discuss this with you again, and we have looked at Lido many times, and it's been recently it's been quite a strong performer for us. And Degen Trading just highlighting here on a chart Lido versus some of the majors in June, and you can see, is the strength going to continue now? Now we know this was a great ETH play, the Lido trade, and if ETH is going to remain bullish, I still expect Lido to remain bullish. I'm sitting in a Lido position, and obviously no intention to close this thing at the moment, and we can see Lido on the 12 hour, we've broken a nice little trend. And right now we're looking at some nice support levels here. So if you're looking for a Lido position, or you want to firm up some of your Lido trade, well, these are some levels that you can be looking at right now. So you can see Lido is currently testing a trend and 382. So I've highlighted this region for you, and these lows here at 2.3. This is an area of interest for me, 2.3. So that's a trend retest and 382. Then I've got a banger support level for you guys here, 100-day MA and horizontals tied in with a 0.5 at 2.45, and then the big bull zone for me. And this is the zone you don't really want to lose. And this is on a nice little flush out or something like that in the market. You want to hold 2.2 down to 2.15. That is my big zone here for Lido. I don't want to lose that area. So if we start closing that region, I'm going to be jumping out of my Lido position. So I'm not expecting much lower than that. If the market's going to stay bullish, I expect Lido to hold any one of these levels here. I'm not too fussy which one it's going to hold. And, right now for me, if we lose that 2.15, then potentially going to be jumping out of Lido, because that market as a whole then is looking a little bit sad. So that is my current Lido plan, but no intention to close this thing at the moment, looking for a little bit higher. And then this banger, AVAX finally came to the party. So AVAX we were looking at yesterday, and looking at a trend break, 382 retest was on the table here for AVAX, and look how beautiful this was. A little 382 retest. We had that fib in play there, and came back beautifully here for us, and gave a nice little entry, 25.44. That was a nice little mover, and so much strength now in AVAX. Remember, we had all that FUD a few days ago, and I think the market panic sold a lot of the AVAX, and now on the short term, we are getting a bounce. Now, remember, if we zoom out on these charts, bigger picture, we can still see we've got a lot of resistance to deal with higher up. So right now, these are a lot of short-term trades available for us. And if Lido is going to carry, if AVAX is going to carry on churning here for us, we just got to highlight a couple of zones of interest where you just want to be a little bit cautious. And these are types of areas where you can get rejection. So number one for me, I've got a nice little horizontal band here for you at around 28.8. So look out for a rejection in this region, 28.8. And then the main target, if we can start clearing these types of levels, the main target for me has got to be that 50-day MA. That's 33.2 I'm looking for on AVAX. And I was a little bit late on my AVAX long. You can see here's my current situation on AVAX. Well, that's AXI. I'm short AXI there. I'll explain that one to you shortly. And I was a little bit late on AVAX. So I have this one running at the moment. I did have a BTC long, which I closed earlier today. I wanted to bank some profits. I didn't feel like another round trip, on another BTC play. So AVAX, I'm running on Prime XBT, and you can see I'm short AXI. That's a hedge play, and Phantom is just kind of floating around at the moment. So we're going to deal with Phantom as well for you guys, and here it is. So yesterday, Phantom, I was looking for a 618 bounce play, and we did have a nice little move on Phantom, and now we are retesting that area. So potentially another entry opportunity here for Phantom traders. So this is what we were looking for yesterday, a little jig around the 618, and they gave it to us, and we had this little pump into a resistance band. Now, I wasn't expecting that type of rejection, so a little bit annoyed that we got a big rejection, but in fairness, it is a trend as well that is in our way. So if you want to trade Phantom, there's a couple of suggestions here. If you are using high leverage, your best play has got to be a candle close under this current candle. So your support, that number one that you can watch, if you are sitting in a Phantom or you want to be long Phantom, your first option, 0.566 as a potential stop loss for you. And then your next best option is going to be a close under 0.5582. Now that's the absolute low of that move yesterday. If we start losing that absolute low, then, perhaps it's something you want to be jumping out of, because that could tell us that we are potentially going a little bit lower. So, basically what I'm seeing here at the moment, Phantom, not as bullish as AVAX, not as bullish as Sol, not as bullish as some of the other tokens, but it is still sitting on an interesting area. So Phantom, if you're looking for a position here, your tightest stop I can give you at the moment is got to be from this entry point, 0.86% risk. So you're just under 1% risk. And then if we go a little bit lower down, you're at about a 2% risk on your potential trade. And the target for me would be another retest of this 200-day MA, a little bit higher up at around about 0.62. So that is on the table. We can see we've had a little pump on Phantom, big rejection here. Let's see if it holds. I have no intention just yet of closing this Phantom position, and it's kind of sitting here just floating around. And then AXI, Just a comment here on Axie. We had a nice pump. We know Axie is a massive shitcoin, and a pump like that deserves to be sold. And the minute I saw that candle turning over, I just thought, let me grab a head short here in case they're going to send us lower. And you can see lately I've been practicing a lot of head shorts as well, because after that CPI play, I doubled down on that CPI, and they did a round trip on me. So now we are going to short some of these pumps, and you guys can do it all with me.
The Lord of Hedge. Here he is.
You know what? It's nice to cover yourself. Okay, we're gonna cover ourselves together here, and so every time we've got a nice moving market, if we got a few coins popping off nicely, I'm gonna be looking for some head shorts along the way here, just to cover things a little bit, because sometimes we do get these round trips, and you want to have something to show for it. So here's Axie, and it's a $18,000 short at the moment, and it just looked too juicy after that little pump. So we're going to see how that goes, and this is a pure hedge play for me. I'm, again, like I said yesterday, I'm net long and looking for much bigger things, but we can play around, we can play the games. Right, couple of meme coins coming, and then we're dealing with Sol, we're dealing with WIF, we're dealing with key levels for you guys. I've got CAS as well for you, and I've got a potential NOT coin setup for you as well coming, and then I want to grab some of your charts as well. So keep dropping your charts here in the chats as well. I want to cover 2 or 3 of your charts for you guys too. Just to cover this one again, we're going to do presidential debate. So I just thought, we're talking meme coins here. Here's baked. Reminder, there's only 2 ways to get the baked airdrop. What is baked? Well, baked is the son of gummy, essentially. So if you took part in the gummy token and took part in the gummy airdrop, you'd know what it's all about. Well, baked is now the new token, and there's 2 ways to get the airdrop. Number 1, you can go to memestaking.com, or number 2, you can literally be trading on Blowfin. There's a link in the description for you. All you need to do, put some money on Blowfin, trade on Blowfin, and you're going to farm your baked airdrop. Very simple, very easy way to do it. If you're trading, trade anyway on Blowfin, earn your baked airdrop, and it's KYC friendly as well. So easy little play there for you guys. And you can see Baked's posting some interesting comments here. I'm not sure what this one is. 3 days till we get baked. So remember, guys, you got 3 days left. Okay, literally 3 days left to farm your baked token. I mean, Ray is going to be very interested in this situation. He's going to have the token as well. Look at him, he's getting baked. And here we go. Look at Run. They put him in a jacket. His eyes are red. Wow, it's all happening here. Okay, so you've got 3 days left. If you want a baked airdrop, you know what to do. Reminder, we touched on this yesterday. I'm going to fly through this one quickly and just update you guys. Presidential debate tonight. Obviously, these meme coins are something we need to talk about. These meme coins are something that we need to just look at, because there could be an opportunity here. During this debate, this narrative could really start flying. And also notable here, some of the guys now on Twitter are now talking about these meme coins. Now, I've been talking about Boden, MAGA, DTI, all these meme coins for the last few days leading into this debate, but you can see there's now interest on Twitter. Some big accounts are mentioning some of these political plays as well. And the first one, update on Boden, and you can see here Boden's on a nice little level here, and no reason for Boden not to have a little bit of pumpage. So for me, the big support on Boden, 0.083. Watch that level, 0.083. I'm expecting some kind of fireworks here on this political narrative, some kind of move here. The next one is DTI, obviously a small cap play, but I think this is a high risk reward play for me. It's a smaller cap, and remember, MAGA hit like $500 million. This thing's at $1.3 million. So this is Donald Trump in you. Nice little play as well. And then the other one was Felon, and that's also a Trump play. Convicted Felon is the name of this token. You can see there's a little bit of pumpage here today. So that's a nice little play. That's Felon on Sol. And then the other one was MAGA on ETH. And you can see MAGA on ETH still looking good. We looked at this one yesterday. Couple of green candles today. $154 million market cap. This thing's looking bullish. And, if there's going to be some fireworks tonight, I expect some kind of action on these meme coins. Okay, let's get into the business, the real business here. Solana, what are we doing and why are we doing it? So this is Sol versus ETH on the daily, and look at this recovery on Sol versus ETH, an absolute ripper here. And Sol has now broken through a nice resistance band here on ETH. We were sitting at this resistance zone yesterday, and somebody was actually asking me on Sniper Club, what am I choosing for the next year? Am I choosing ETH? Am I choosing Sol? And I actually said, look, Sol all day, because I think Sol is going to outperform ETH no matter what over the next year or so. And this type of ETF news floating around is only going to be bullish for Sol and the rest of that ecosystem. So Sol has now broken a big resistance band against ETH, and now what we're going to look for on this perspective, we're just going to look for a simple retest. You can see we are rejecting now at the 200-day MA, and we're just looking for that type of move. So if you're looking for a Sol versus ETH play, technically what you could do here is Sol is now pumped into resistance. Now you can convert to ETH, and you'd look for that rejection on Sol, and then you could be long Sol again for the next potential move if you really want to get dark and dirty and go down a rabbit hole on Sol versus ETH. But a nice little thing to watch, a nice little thing to pay attention to. And here is Sol yesterday. So I got my first entry when we had that trend break. I told you guys about it earlier this week, and we've been waiting patiently for the next entry. Now, our next entry was always going to be that little retest that we were looking for onto the 200-day MA and 382. And it was actually unreal how well Solana was holding these levels. It's almost like the chart knew that there was some kind of news coming, and they refused to send this thing down and give us our second bite of the cherry. And then they absolutely sent it today. So how do we play this now? What do we do if we miss the Sol trade? Well, number one, it's not a good plan to start jumping into a type of a green candle like this. If Sol's going to remain bullish, there's always going to be a time when this thing starts consolidating, or there's some kind of pullback, and we're going to get some kind of entry or entry number two on Solana. So how would you play this now if you're looking to do something with Sol? Well, the first move you're going to do is you're going to pull your fib from the low to the high. This is Sol on the 4 hour, and we're going to pull it from the low to high, and we're going to look for confluence here where we get levels with horizontals tying in with some fibs. And here we go, banger. Look at this. We've got a 382, and we've got horizontals tied in. So what is this telling me? This is telling me this is a potential reaction zone. This is a potential solid zone of support here for Sol. So it's very nice that we've broken that level, but I don't like the look of that candle. And quite often we're going to get these type of candles filled at some point. And if this token's going to remain bullish, we're going to look for the buys on a nice level of confluence. So here we've got a big 382 pool, and we've got some horizontals. So a massive level here for me for Sol, 139.9. That has got to be a big level support. I think there's going to be a secondary trade here, and if things consolidate and things remain super bullish for Sol, you could easily get a situation where it just dances around in this area for a while, and then we can look for some kind of trend break off that area. So we're going to play it something along those lines. But ideally, in a perfect world, you're looking at 140 to 139 here on a retest. That's going to be the safest type of trade. So you're going to be buying that on weakness. You're going to be buying that when nobody wants to buy it, when everyone's getting scared. You're going to be buying it on that pullback, and that is going to be the best play in my opinion for Sol. Secondary play, we're going to get some kind of trend break, and then we can send that one higher. So the short-term play for me on Sol still running. I mean, for me at TP, 155 to 159 as a trade. That's a nice little exit plan, and I'm going to stick to that one at the moment. And you can see here is my current situation. This is Sol on CoinCatch that I'm trading, and or the chart at the top there is Doge, and that is a Doge short that I'm running. I added to that short now earlier today after that pump. That again is just in case the market wants to fall over. I now have a hedge short in play, but the Sol position now, I did add a little bit to it, and my average entry is now 133 at the moment, and pushing up into that TP zone. So I'm looking for a TP at that 50-day moving average, and hoping we're going to ping that area sooner rather than later. Let's see how we play, and if we're going to pull back, 139 is the level that I'm watching closely. If we lose 139, things are looking pretty bearish there from a Sol front. And Ben says 130 Sol is a bargain. Look, it's had a nice pop here. Maybe we're going to get it. Maybe we're going to get another opportunity. But I know B or Best is loving Sol at the moment. What else we got here in the chats?
Should people take profits? Should people take profits?
This is my suggestion.
That's the big question.
Okay, here's my suggestion. I have taken some profits today on some trades that I've been in. Okay, it's nice to see them pop, but one of the things that happens quite commonly is a round trip. Now, the last thing you want is a round trip every time you take a trade. So what I would suggest here is take profits at nice little resistance zones, and a nice guide is to sometimes take profit when BTC hits a resistance area, because quite often when BTC rejects at a resistance zone, then we get these alts pulling back a little bit. So I would be, a little bit cautious. I would be disciplined. I would take profit at resistance areas. So, in theory, you could take a profit here on Sol after that pump. And, I've given you the levels. You know what we are expecting now. And based on this look here, we are expecting some kind of consolidation, some kind of pullback here on Solana. If you don't want to stomach the pullback on Sol, well, then now is the time. You want to clip some profits here and bank something. So, yeah, Ray, good advice there and good comment there. And you know what? Let's take some profits here on Sol. I just don't want to now close this whole thing and push the wrong one. Let me just do a test one here on Doge, so I could go.
How about we close some likes too, guys? Just slap that like, please. Slap the like.
Hold on. I just want to get this right. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure this one out. I don't want to close the whole position by pressing the wrong button here. Let's push this. Let's see. Take profit, market price. Enter take profit price. Let's go. Okay, let me just get the Sol trade up here. Let's just do this quickly. Okay, we're going to take profit at 147.73. Okay, so let's go. Let's put this in here. 147.75. Okay, so the current mark price is 76, and we're going to take off 20%. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're taking TP price of long position, current price 148. Let's see if that works. Okay, we're going to have to deal with that later. Guys, take a little bit of profit here. I'm going to take 20% off there, off that Sol trade as soon as we're done. Okay, WIF. Now, this was in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I believe it was on the show yesterday as well. And look, beautiful little retest. We had a nice trend break here for WIF and nice little retest. Look at this perfect retest. I just want to highlight this again. Something as simple, really as simple as a trend at 382 and horizontal retest. Look at this fib here. Look how this thing came and pinged this thing exactly on the button. Now, I've been saying, many times, look at that absolute perfection there on a 382 fib. And, I say this as much as possible. Sometimes, guys, you don't need to overcomplicate your life. You don't need 500 indicators. You don't need 500 things on your charts. You need a couple of things, a good level, some trends, maybe some fibs, and a system that you rely on, that system that works for you, that you've back tested. And for me, something as simple as WIF pinging a 382 and trend gives you an entry opportunity. And WIF is now firing and at a resistance band. So nice little move here for WIF traders. What is going to be the plan now for WIF? Well, it's very, very simple. It's very clear at the moment. If you are a bull on WIF and you are trying to long WIF here, you are longing WIF into a resistance band. Okay, you can see we've had one rejection already. So what I would say again, exercise caution here. Where's the next long trade? The next long trade on WIF is pullback, retest this 382. That's a bull trade. That's a long trade. Alternatively, your next trade, you need to clear this resistance and then you want to buy that retest. That is the next bull trade. So right now, there's no real trade unless you're dialing into 15-minute candles here and you're trying to scalp things and those type of things. If you're a bigger picture trader and you're looking at 8-hour candles like I am over here, your next trade, pull back on WIF to 1.9. Alternatively, you want to reclaim, roughly, you want to reclaim 2.18. If you can reclaim 2.18 as support, then you can start looking at a long position. And I know it sounds a little bit counterintuitive here at the moment, because why do you want to buy it higher if you want to trade it higher? But remember, the best entries are sometimes found on these support buys when we do get these pullbacks, and they're often the lower risk because they give you a nice invalidation. They tell you where you can exit, and especially for the leverage traders, that is what you're going to be looking for. So WIF for me, trade lower down 1.9, trade higher up, reclaim 2.17, 2.18. You reclaim that area, there's a potential secondary WIF trade for you. And here is my current WIF trade. Now, this thing was flying earlier, and now it is at the resistance band. So we are at take profit zone. So I'm going to close my WIF trade here at resistance. There we go, bang. And that is now another trade locked in there, and that is now done. So now I'm going to wait for my next WIF position here, and we'll catch it. Well, it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a WIF trade, maybe a BONK trade, something along those lines. So that profit is now banked there on WIF, and that was traded on 𝗬𝗢𝗥. So guys, remember, there's so many exchanges that I'm trading on here, and I've left them all under the show description here for you. All of these traders, all of these exchanges are actually KYC friendly. You can take your pick here. They're all offering amazing deals for you, amazing incentives to trade on these exchanges. So go to the link in the description here and jump in, grab give them a test. And a lot of them are offering sign-up bonuses. And 𝗬𝗢𝗥, for example, which I'm going to get to now, is offering $10 just to sign up for the first 200 users. So it's as simple as that. And okay, let's deal with Ray. Okay, I actually have evidence of me telling you yesterday your entry is coming on Brett, and I'm sure you nodded on the show yesterday, and you didn't take the Brett trade. Am I correct?
So when I got to the meme section of my exchange, it just started not functioning.
So when I said,
but then I went AITECH on Lido, and that's been going okay.
Okay, well, Ray, look at this, Ray. Okay, how much did Lido pump yesterday?
It pumped a little bit. It gives a little something.
Okay, we've had
9%.
Okay, we've had 9% on Brett. Okay, not shooting the lights out, but an entry is an entry. So yeah, Brett, update on Brett. What did we do? We waited patiently. It drifted into our zone. We had a 618 here in play. We had trend. We had horizontals, and this was a hot zone for me on Brett. So nice little play there. Hopefully, some of you guys got this one. And Ray, that's not Brett, bro. That's not Brett. That's Lido. And now we've got our Brett move. So if you are trading this Brett like I am, you can now raise your stop to entry. So here is my Brett trade at the moment. This one is on 𝗬𝗢𝗥, and you can see this thing is now finally starting to move here for us. Let's just highlight this one. There it is. Okay, and we're going to raise our stop to entry. So I'm going to add a stop loss here, and we're going to put it in. Entry price is 0.152. 0.152, and there it is. Okay, so there is my Brett has now got a stop loss at entry. So now this is a risk-free trade, and we can send that one to Valhalla, or if they come back to us, you know, they can come and hunt us. It's not going to cost us anything. Okay, another trade for you guys that I gave you yesterday was PEPE. Now, this thing is not bouncing as nicely as we wanted it to bounce. So PEPE moved into our zone, number one. You can see we've got a nice little reaction here, and it doesn't mean this trade is not on, but I think a lot of the attention started flowing into ETH, and into Sol today now, and they started forgetting about our friend PEPE. So if you are interested in PEPE and you still want to trade it, there is a potential position here. There is a potential move, and your stop loss has got to be under the lows from yesterday. So I'm just going to highlight this for you. If you are looking for a long here and the market's going to stay bullish, very easy game, and a nice little exit plan for you. You had about a 2% risk here on PEPE, and your upside target is going to be the 618 fib. So you're looking at about a 15% move on PEPE if it does start getting a little bit of traction. So stop loss zone 0.00012. If you close under multiple zeros 1, 2, then you are out, then you are exiting, then you are looking for slightly lower levels. Now I'm talking to the higher leverage traders. If you're trading spot, you're buying PEPE here, you're buying PEPE here, and you're buying PEPE here. And if you are bullish on the market, PEPE's going to bounce at one of these areas. So simple game. If you're trading leverage, you need to be greedy. Where are you trading? This is in zone number 1 now. Okay, so zone number 1 is where we are, current market price. Exit at 0.12. If we lose that area, your next potential buy zone 1175. Your next potential buy zone 1135. Okay, there's 3 potential leverage trade opportunities here for you guys. One of those should be the bottom of a PEPE retracement if the market is going to stay bullish. So it's as simple as that. And I'm currently sitting in PEPE. As you can see, I've added to that one a little bit as well. This is my 𝗬𝗢𝗥 account. So PEPE's here at the bottom, and no reason to exit that just yet. And you can see my stop loss is 0.0119, and that is in place. So if I lose that area, it's got a hard stop. It's just going to stop me out. And then you can see my ETH position here, and it hasn't changed. We still got that good entry. What were we? 3,280 on ETH, 3,285, and this thing is now starting to fire. So going to leave this one open as well. And we just got to adjust that stop. We're going to bring that stop to entry on ETH. Okay, so that is going well. That is that. And then Casper. Hopefully some of you guys got that Casper trade as well yesterday, that little scalper. And, lots of news on Casper at the moment. Things are looking good. And Casper Enthusiast just reminding us it's the best performing coin of the top 100 in the last 24 hours and 7 days. Okay, and here's Casper. So, hopefully you guys got a little scalpy there yesterday, and I've set this one up for Casper traders. I've got some areas now of interest that you need to be watching. And Ray, did you take that trade?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. And here we are. So big level here for CAS support 0.168. Okay, mark that on your charts. We could easily have a situation now where we get some kind of CAS flag here and some kind of consolidation. That would be beautiful if we get a play like that. So I'm looking for something like that on CAS. If this thing is going to carry on churning, okay, this is where it gets slightly more difficult to catch. And you guys then need to dial in. If you want to be an absolute degen like yesterday and look for these type of plays, you need to dial in and start looking for things like trend breaks. You want to look for these kind of smaller moves if you want to try and catch this. So number one, what you would do is you just bang out a trend like that, and you'd look for a rising trend as well to give you some support. So you'd get something along these lines. Bang over there. And what are you looking for now? So how do you trade this on a 15-minute basis? If you're looking for a scalp, what is the game plan? So first option is you need to start breaking this high. So I'd like to see a pop of that high. That little retest could be a nice little buy for you. So that's a little flag break there. Well, alternatively, you're going to look for buys on this trend support, any pullback. So quite often you might see a situation like that. They bang it into trend, then they bring it back. That's going to tie in with a 618, and that's going to give you a little scalper buy there as well. So that is the game plan. If you want to scalp on 15 minutes, slightly different game here. And, you know, your moves are smaller, and you quite often find yourself, you might be taking way more trades, and it takes a lot more screen time. So two different games here for two different types of traders here. But scalpers, you know what you're looking for. Pullback onto rising trend, and you're most likely going to find that you've got some kind of fib tying in with it. So you will eventually, if you do get a high there, you'll just pull a fib from a low to a high, and you're going to look for some kind of support. And you can see more than likely you're going to get a 618 bounce if it's going to hold, and if it's going to remain bullish, you're going to get something like that, and then you're going to look for that little trade and that little break. But 8-hour candle traders, you know what to do. Okay, you're just dialing out, you're watching big support levels, you're watching things like that. And what you can highlight as well is a nice big horizontal. Look at this nice juicy zone here, big resistance. Okay, so what does this tell us on the 8-hour? If we break this thing, we can turn bullish on CAS again. Okay, so CAS is looking bullish, but if we start blowing through horizontal resistance, things start looking spicy again. So what is the next potential trade here on the 8-hour? It's bang into the highs, and then that retest of support, and then you're looking for that. So that it's a trade you're going to have to wait for. You're going to have to wait for that retest, but it's going to be something along those lines for cash traders. So that is going to be a break and hold of 0.179, 0.179 to 0.18. If we break and we hold 0.18, then you're looking for longs there. Alternatively, you're looking for longs lower down on a pullback onto the 382, and that is going to be 0.169. Okay, both of these are potential bull zones here. Both of these are long regions for you guys. Okay, another one for you is not, and then I want two of the charts from the chats. Ray, will you grab two charts from the chats? Notcoin, lots of talk about this not lately, and we're going to see if this thing is going to perform. What I've done here is I've just put a little scalper setup here on the 4-hour and watching not with interest. Okay, I'm not ready to jump in just yet, and I am looking for a little bit more action here on not, but we can see a nice little support band in play here. Okay, a little bit of support, but not is, you know, relative to some of these other tokens, not is actually falling over a little bit. So we just want to watch this one, and we want to see what happens here. I just want to see if we get a nice strong push here and break that trend. So the minute we break that trend, I think we can start getting a little bit more interested in this not. And support, I would watch the lows, 0.015, 0.015. Watch these lows as potential support for you when we start getting a little bit of juice here on not. You just want to take out these highs as well. You want to just break that high there at 0.0165. If we start cracking that, it's going to start looking a little bit more bullish there and a little bit more exciting. Will says, lock in, gents. What are we locking in here, Will? What are we locking in? And I see 𝗧𝗥𝗡𝗢 took profit. Good for you. Let's see. Thomas wants GMX. Thomas, I got you, bro. Let's go GMX. When you're ready. Okay, let's close some exchanges here. Okay, there it is. Okay, nice. Okay, let's have a look here. GMX, let's zoom out. So the first thing you want to do, as always, you want to just zoom out, try and understand where are we on the bigger picture and what is going on. Wow, this thing looks pretty sad at the moment. Jeez. I remember we were trading this thing back here. in October, thinking this thing was going to Valhalla. We were thinking this thing was going to go up to 80, and we peaked out twice here in the 60s. Okay,
what a rug pull! What a rug pull!
Jeez, and Arthur Hayes, he sold his bags. He had a massive bag of GMX, and he actually exited GMX. So let's see what they have going on here on the smaller time frame. This is the 4 hour. Okay, big resistance here. Nice little range. Nice little range here. Okay, so Thomas, yeah, GMX, not much going on here for me at the moment. What you can see here, little rising trend. I think there's better potential trades out there at the moment.
I mean, we need a breakout first. Let's go.
Say that again.
We need a breakout. This coin is turning into a dust coin.
No, it's turning into a proper dust coin, this thing. Okay, Thomas, watch GMX, watch 28.7 as your support band. Watch that now. So we've had a nice pump, okay? It moved with the market though, so I don't think it was GMX specific. Watch support 28.7, watch 28.3. Okay, and most importantly, watch this rising trend. If we lose that rising trend, potentially bearish, potentially coming back lower. So pay attention to that there, Thomas. And BONK, that's a good one. Live and Evolve wants some BONK, and I think fair enough. Okay, you get a soul pump. What do you look at? If you like meme coins, unlike Ray, you look at Myro, you look at BONK, you look at WIF, you look at PopCat, and those type of things. And those are the plays. Those are the big recovery plays on soul strength. And BONK is just another one of them that will move with some soul action. So let's see where we are. So BONK is currently at resistance. Okay, let's see what that is. It's an old 618. So we've got a big 618 pool. Okay, and this is big resistance here for BONK. So interesting here for BONK. We've got an old 618 and we've got the 100-day moving average. And no surprises. Look at this rejection on that 100-day MA. Massive rejection, and something as simple as the 100-day moving average just getting in your way there for BONK. So what we're going to look for here, we're just going to summarize this one a little bit here. We're just going to look for some horizontals there. Okay, horizontal, 100-day MA and horizontal. We can see that's clear resistance for BONK. Pullback zones, we're going to take a fib from the absolute highs, absolute lows to the highs, and we want to identify where our 382 and 618 is. That's a nice region here for you. So BONK support, I would watch 2250. Look at 2250. Okay, that's your support number one you want to pay attention to. That's got to print. You want that higher low in play there for you. Alternatively, if things turn weaker, 000208. 000208. But right now, massive resistance for you at 25. So where's the trade? The next trade is pullback to 225, 224, 225, or alternatively, break that 100-day, look for the rejection of the 50-day, and then there's your next trade. Okay, so simple as that. So your next trade will be a long at about 25. Once we've broken and reclaimed 25, then that is a good one. And Benzo says, Cock and you about to break out and catch up with AVAX, guys. Remember, simple play, and AVAX strength equals a trade on Cock, literally. And here it is. So let's look. Cock is a meme coin on AVAX, and actually looking quite bullish here. So what do we got? Cock on the 4 hour. And this one looks like it's on KuCoin. Where else do they have this thing? Bybit as well. Looks like a spot play. And Mexi, you can get it as well. Okay, so Cock, AVAX meme token. One of the first meme coins on AVAX. And looking interesting here. So what I would say here, once this thing pops, this horizontal, this thing's going to fly. So let's see how AVAX goes. Bulls are looking for that. Very simple here. So let's just get through this 1592. What you can use as support, this current low. Okay, here's your current low. You can use that 1471. Okay, so this is now literally an AVAX strength play. So just the same way we saw soul strength plays with BONK, Myro, PopCat, those things start flying. AVAX starts flying. You can grab your Cock and you can send that thing a lot higher. Okay, that's it, guys. We hopefully you are well covered here. Right.
Did you just hear yourself?
Come
on. Oh my God.
Come on, don't kill me, bro. Come on.
Jeez, okay. Man. Relax. Guys, it's just Thursday afternoon, man.
Caleb wants some PEPE, and I did cover that for you guys, so it's all there. Remember, leave your comments in the chats after the show. Ray's compiling lists for me, and we're going to bang off some of your charts. And remember, guys, Sniper Club, all my charts are in there every day. I update I'm in the chats, I'm in Sniper Club dropping stuff for you guys. So that's another way to get access to all of the stuff. Right. Have a banger, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.